I've been called crazy. I've been wished good luck. Because globally, the demand for grapefruit is contracting. This is a problem that we are facing, and we need to do something about it. Fortunately, I am a little bit crazy. I'm also a little bit doof. And for our international visitors, here is a definition of doof. And I need you to remember this because it's quite important. It's a good contribution to your Afrikaans vocabulary. I'm a marketing strategist. And while I do have many years' experience in marketing, I am fairly new to the citrus industry. And that's why I believe we are capable of making grapefruit great again. You can't resist that. But fortunately, in my doofness, I am working with some very, very smart people. And the result of this is this lovely combination that you get of knowledge, skills, and experience, but combined with fresh ideas. I don't know the rules to this industry. And because of that, I don't know what is and isn't possible. And I bring a very, very unique perspective with me. Today, I'm going to take you through this 3Cs framework for market development and show you how we can move using this framework into an increased demand. I'm going to show you some very practical examples of how we've used this, but also you'll see how you can use this with you can apply it in various situations. So step number 1 is collaboration. Our minister spoke earlier about this. And this is a very layered concept because we need collaboration at different levels. The first level is obviously a grower level. By coming together and pooling our knowledge, our resources, our money, we can achieve much greater things. And yes, this does have the downside because people often have differences of opinions, different ways of doing things. But I don't think diversity of thought is a bad thing. And if we're all working together towards the same objective, we can overcome a lot of these adversities. But the next layer of this is collaboration with the wider ecosystem. We need to leverage these relationships and bring together different people with different interests if we are going to truly create and sustain a long-term demand. So number 2, we need to fundamentally change behavior. If we don't change the way people perceive our products, the way they engage with them, any success that we see will be short-term. So you'll have these spikes when you run promotions or competitions, but they won't be sustained beyond that. How do we go about changing behavior? It requires strategic thinking. It requires a broad-based approach, consistency, and time. And there are a lot of examples of when this has been used in the past. If you think back to the reinvention of gin, I mean, just by a show of hands, who doesn't enjoy a good gin and tonic? I know I certainly do, and they go great with grapefruit. Yeah. Gin was classed as a bitter, old people's drink. It was one of those drinks that people drank at country clubs and in the colonies. Collaboration of micro-distillers got together to change the perception of it. And these are some of their success stories. In 2018-2019, gin was the fastest growing spirit in South Africa. 10x growth in the number of micro-distilleries in a decade. 15% growth in sales and 35% growth in some of the overseas sales. These are pretty impressive numbers, and attendance at gin festivals and tastings has not only been maintained, it is growing. So we can shift these perceptions, and we can learn from this. But we also need to understand the differences in our collaborations and in our approach. So there are nuances. So how do we go about changing behavior around our grapefruit? So for starters, we're no longer talking about grapefruit. We are talking about summer star rubies, the sweet and tangy grapefruit grown in South Africa. So we've addressed the taste perception by specifically using the phrase sweet and tangy. We've educated the market on the fact that star rubies are grapefruits, because I know that might seem strange to the people in this room, but not everybody knows that. We've specifically used the word grown because it's got this really organic, lovely feel in South Africa. They are unique to South Africa. We've also given people a brand and an icon that they can associate with the product. But there's more. Because summer star rubies are the trip for your taste buds. They are the adventure unlocker. They allow you to taste the club, the yacht, the bar, the bistro, to taste what it means to be free and to taste summer. We heard a number of the videos from our Russian colleagues talking about the cold winter. Everybody wants to taste summer. So we've used these beautiful images, this lovely color, which we're aiming to own, which is our summer star ruby, practical examples of how you can use this. By using this kind of imagery, we're getting to a much broader, younger audience, which is really important. But we've also shown people that you can use summer star rubies in your salads, in your cocktail, while you're at the pool. So we're broadening the use of it just being a fruit that you consume. And here are just some other tactical examples of how we're rolling this out, looking at stickers, posters, just to give you a sense of how we see this all happening. We've also looked at some point of sale material, and this is an initiative that we are busy working on. And what we've done with this is looked at a concept where we're aiming to place this material in places where you wouldn't expect to see it, in the alcohol aisle. And these point of sales have got recipes on them. The idea being that you see this, you're in a position to buy everything you need right there and then, but also photograph this. And even if you don't convert and purchase immediately, this is something that you'll use at a later stage. You'll share with a friend. So by doing so, we are broadening our reach and expanding how people engage with this product. Our campaign is working on 2 levels. So we're looking at a country-specific, where we are targeting certain countries. This is then further divided into a business-to-business approach, and our objective with this is to get summer star rubies on the menu. We're looking at targeting the hospitality sector and working with them to start incorporating these products in their meals, in their drinks, in their meal kits. Our second approach is business to consumer, which we're looking at very much a digital campaign and changing sentiments around this product, working with influencers and digital content to educate people and expand our reach. The second part of our campaign is what we're calling our broad-based campaign. And this is really to give our summer star rubies a home, a place where people can go to learn more about them, hear the stories of where they come from, engage with people who've grown them. We're really creating a place, a content hub of information. Step number 3, and this is often a little bit of a tricky one, because without this, things often do fall apart. Because step number 3 is courage. And I know this might sound strange when I'm talking about marketing and in a room full of people where I have no doubt there is great courage given the industry you're in. But it takes guts to do something that hasn't been done before. It takes guts to break with tradition, because tradition dictates that marketing of products is left to the retailer, the wholesaler, or the importer. Tradition dictates that you promote your brand and your products. It takes courage to trust somebody like me and to step into a realm that you might not understand and be guided. But I urge you to be a little bit dwarf, put aside what you think you know, and be courageous. Because right now, your courage matters. It really matters. Here's a number. This is the number of households that depend on this industry through the 140,000 jobs created. That number matters. Yep. Here's another number. This was the contribution of citrus exports in 2023. That number also matters. This is the final number. I don't know what this number is, but a lot of you in the room will. Because this is the number that star rubies make and contribute towards each of your bottom lines. And that number definitely matters to me. Because like a lot of people in this room, I'm also a business owner. I understand the complexities of navigating long-term strategic planning. I understand looking at your products and figuring out which ones are and aren't contributing. And because of that, that's why I'm here. That's why I want to help you. If I stood up here with 25 years worth of marketing experience and told you that based on 5 factors that this would work, would you believe me? Because these are the 5 factors. You have a superior product. You have a unique counter-seasonal advantage. You have very smart people that have come together behind this campaign. You have a budget. People have contributed their money and time towards this. There is a track record of success. It might have been short-term and not sustained, but it worked. And that is why I genuinely believe that we can make grapefruit great again. As I said, very simple. 3 steps. Collaboration, change behavior, and courage. Very simple, but definitely not easy. But my question to each of you in this room is, are you going to keep banging your head against the wall and trying to fix this problem yourself? Because that's worked to an extent. Or are you going to come with me, be a little bit brave, be a little bit dwarf, and do something that has never been done before? Thank you very much.